Welcome back to Chamber Exchange, a TV show. I want to thank our sponsor, Bank Hometown, for helping making it happen, and also congratulate the Worcester Railers on a great season and look forward to hockey returning next fall to the DCU Center. Very happy to have with us on this segment Leah Bradley, who is the CEO, and Katie Coughlin, who's the Development Director of the Central Mass Housing Alliance. Welcome.
Thank you.
For our viewers who might not be aware, Leah, maybe you could give a little overview of the really important work that the Central Mass Housing Alliance does on a day-to-day basis.
Sure. So Central Mass Housing Alliance, we provide prevention and services for homeless families and individuals. And a lot of the work that we've been doing during the pandemic is the rental assistance program, helping folks pay their back rent. And also we provide family shelter services in the city of Worcester. So we also partner with Friendly House and Catholic Charities to provide those services. And so we do a lot of work around planning and advocacy for homeless services across the county.
And we've seen both with the COVID situation and kind of the corresponding unemployment that happened with that. We certainly see with rental increases taking place throughout the region, throughout the country for that matter. In many cases, kind of a challenging time for the clients that you serve and your staff.
Absolutely. We're seeing a lot of families with children that are really struggling to pay rent, but also we're seeing a rise in homelessness right now. I think during the pandemic, folks were staying with friends and families and things, and right now we're really seeing a rapid increase in both individuals and homeless families, especially with children as well. Yeah,
and we'll get into some of the details of one of the great kind of community events that's been happening here in Worcester for 37 years. But your funding comes from a variety of sources, correct? Mm-hmm. Federal, state, local, private fundraising that allow you to provide that assistance.
Absolutely. So we get a lot of the funds from the state government and also federal. The city of Worcester's been fantastic this year as well in helping to fill some of the gaps that we've needed. So we've gotten a lot of funding from the city. The city manager's been fantastic, and the mayor, and really helping us to fill some of that need in the city. And the surrounding towns. We've had some additional, foundation support and some philanthropy as well.
And I know the statewide organization that you work with, the Mass Housing and Shelter Alliance, they are going to be holding their annual event in Worcester on May 5th. And they're going to recognize the city manager and the city for their work during this crisis, which they have cited as being kind of, groundbreaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really have. So they've really invested a lot. They've done some innovative things with us as well. So we have a landlord incentive program that we're working with them and Worcester Community Housing Resources to try and incentivize landlords to accept vouchers. Mm-hmm. It's a little tough for the landlords because there's a little bit of a waiting period for some inspections and things. And so we're able to give folks about $1,500 in order to rent up to those that have vouchers right now, because folks are struggling so much and really finding the housing with the rental market the way that it is and things. And so we're really excited that the city has partnered with us and with Worcester Community Housing Resources to do programs like that. But that's not the only one. They've been amazing.
Well, Katie, you're the development director, so your job is to help raise the money on the private side. Yep. And one of the main events is the walk, and it's 37 years that the annual walk for the homeless has been taking place. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we're really excited to be back in person for the first time since 2019. So we're having our event on Sunday, May 15th at the park, Elm Park, from 1 to 4. And we are still accepting teams and volunteers. There's still plenty of time to fundraise. People are welcome to come the day of and walk. We're just excited to bring everyone together and to really be able to raise money and have a big impact. And then this year we're deciding to support small businesses. And instead of doing traditional just kind of handing out food, we're inviting a lot of the Worcester food trucks to come and, just kind of be a part of the event and support them as well and give back. So we have live entertainment this year. We're pulling out all the stops, and we're really excited to bring everybody back together.
Well, that's terrific. I mean, I think our food truck sector, if you will, is a microcosm of our brick and mortar restaurants, really diverse group of food providers that really, I think, reflect the diversity and changing nature of the city. And that has been, the whole food scene has been a big reason we've seen a lot of the success we've had. And when I've looked, Katie, over the years at the sponsor list of the businesses and organizations that support this walk, I mean, as a leader of the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce, it's just really proud to see so many members stepping up to sponsor such an important cause. And Leah mentioned some of the state and federal and city money that comes, and a lot of that is kind of prescriptive for certain programs or needs. I assume these dollars that you raise through the walk give you a little bit more flexibility as an organization.
Absolutely, absolutely. It definitely it allows us to be able to meet people where they're at and to really be able to help everyone one-on-one, and kind of, everybody's situation's a little bit different, so it's nice that we have that flexibility.
Yep.
It fills a lot of the gaps that with the state and federal funds, so there are some limitations to income and things, and so it allows us to expand what we're able to do and provide somebody who may not quite meet the eligibility, maybe a few dollars over the asset or the income level, and we can still provide that service, which is great.
Yeah, that flexibility is critical, because I think having worked for a while in different roles in the housing space and working with both single adult and family homelessness. Every situation is a little bit unique, and having those flexible dollars can oftentimes maybe prevent an individual or family from becoming homeless, where there's doesn't fit a specific governmental assistance category, or get someone housed quickly or a family housed quickly. So if someone wants to register, maybe learn about being a sponsor, how do they do it? Where do they go?
Absolutely. So anybody who's interested wants to go to walkforthehomeless.org. That is our event page. It has information and everything on there. It has my contact information for anyone who wants to volunteer, event details. We have a page for all of our sponsors. We are really lucky that we are sponsored by a lot of community, banks and other organizations. So we do a nice page for them to do a thank you. And most of our sponsors have teams this year. So we're even excited to see them come out and walk and really be a part and know that they're sponsoring us because they really believe in what we're doing.
And we should have brought a big needle, but the goal this year is to raise how much?
$100,000.
And we're getting close?
We are getting close, yep.
All right, so our viewers out there, they can put us over the top. Any businesses, organizations that want to sponsor, or people just kind of want to walk and make any type of donation, I'm sure that's welcome.
Yeah, absolutely, especially the day of. If people don't want to put in a team, or they're unsure if they can come, and Sunday morning comes and you feel like joining us at the park, we'll come take volunteers and donations that day too.
Great.
Yeah, great.
And Leah, people want to just learn more about the mission and overall, or if someone's out there that needs assistance, or if there's a landlord out there that maybe wants to learn about how they could work with Central Mass Housing Alliance, where can they go?
It's CMHAonline.org. So all of our programs and the connections are there online. And we should also share that the Chamber is also one of our sponsors, leading the way for our sponsors as well. And so on Sunday, May 15th, the registration begins at 1 o'clock. And there's going to be face painting, like Katie had said, and many other things. So it's at 1 o'clock, and the walk begins at 2.
Yeah, well, this need for housing has been a big part. We did a very detailed housing study in 2019, and if the region's going to grow and meet the needs of our employer community and people of all different income levels, we need a whole range of housing, and workforce affordable, deep affordable housing is a piece of that, and those projects put people to work too.
Absolutely.
So,
and that's what we're really seeing is a lot of people who are working who can't afford the rents right now. So we're seeing a bigger increase in the workforce who are struggling to pay their rent.
Yeah. Well, a lot more work to be done, but thank you for the role that you play.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Good. And we're going to come right back for our final segment of this edition of Chamber Exchange, and it's timely because baseball has begun.
These days, you've got your hands full in life. That's why we help you bank simply and securely with tools like Face ID and Touch ID. It's why we make it easy to make purchases on the go and get cash back while you're at it. Why we help you quickly deposit checks wherever you are. And it's why we lend a hand with sending and receiving money right from your phone. So even when you're on the move, you can manage your finances. Bank Hometown. Unlock your potential.
This is Radio Worcester. Local talk, local news, local events. We got it, and we've got opinions that you're going to want to hear.
That Worcester will be thought of and spoken about.
We're live every morning, 6 to 10 a.m., and if you can't catch us then, you can find us online, day and night, at radioworcester.com. This is your town. This is your morning show. Talk of the Commonwealth with Hank and Ben.